Hello, 11th graders who are doing your practical work this week and for the next 5 weeks. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that I myself don't think that it's okay for you not to have English classes for 6 weeks now and 6 weeks in the spring. If it depended on me, you would do your work, your practical work, and still have English classes. I believe that nurses and ambulance workers, paramedics, all of you that work with people, you need to know English many times, many times in Norway and in Nordic Europe. There are situations where people won't speak Norwegian or Swedish or Danish, and you will need to communicate with them in English. So here's just my 2 cents in the matter. I don't agree with this one bit. That is why you have this podcast. Those of you who are at home just listening, I am referring now to page 114 on the book, Cutting Corners at Work. What you are required to do for the next 6 weeks is listen to this podcast. Every time it's on, listen to it. You can listen to it live or you can listen to it later on because they will be available on my YouTube channel forever. So you'll always have access to it. So, number one, listen. Two, during the podcast or later, answer the questions presented during the podcast. It will be something short, but you have to present it to me. You have to deliver it. You can send it to me via email, messenger, the email on Canvas, anywhere that you can have access to me. Page 114, my story, cutting corners at work. So in this chapter of your book, had you been at school, this is what you would be working on. There are people presenting their stories. A man named Joseph Smith, 34 years old, who is a carpenter. A man named Chris Perry, who's 22 years old, a mechanic. Another man named Paul Morrison, who is an IT operations technician. A woman named Linda Platt, 20 years old, who is a hairdresser. Debbie Potter, 37 years old, manager of a local TV station. Sandra Hutchinson, fish farm associate. And finally, John Parker, 51 years old, a butcher. And Josh Baker, 21, a health worker. Each of these persons has cut corners at work. Each and every one of these people has cut corners at work. What does that mean, to cut corners? For those of you who are watching this as a video, you can see the pages right now. For those of you who are listening to this as a podcast, pages 114 and 115 are the ones I'm holding up right now. And my question to you is this: what does it mean? What does this expression mean, to cut corners? So I'm going to give you the example of a shortcut. I've been living in Norway for almost 20 years, and I have learned that it is almost like a cultural thing, that if there is a shorter way to get somewhere, you'll take it. So to cut Think about the verb to cut. You can cut hair, you can cut paper, and you can use a shortcut. So if you think about a shortcut, you will understand what cutting corners at work is. In each of these situations, the people have tried to do something to get to a certain result without having to do all that it takes to get to that result. Here is what you're required to do. I'm going to send you a link. This link will be available here, right under where you find this podcast on my YouTube, and you will receive this link also on Canvas. You will be able to listen to the audio files about each one of these people and how they cut corners at work. How did they take the easy way to do something instead of doing what they were supposed to do? So I want you to listen to the audio. Here is my suggestion. If you want to get the most out of English this year, do the extra. Take 15 minutes of your time to do the extra work. So the only mandatory part today is to explain to me what the expression cutting corners at work means. This is mandatory. Dette her må dere skrive. Dere må skrive hva uttrykket cutting corners at work betyr. Dere må skrive til meg. Dere må skrive en setning, to setninger på engelsk. Dere skal forklare til meg hva cutting corners at work betyr. Dette her må alle sammen gjøre. Det som jeg skal si nå, er ekstra. Det er for dem som vil lære mer. Det er for dem som vil virkelig lære engelsk på ordentlig. Dere skal ta side 115, altså 116, og dere skal svare til alle spørsmålene under personene. For eksempel, side 116, John Parker, 51 years old, butcher. Why can we rest assured the food we buy is safe to eat? Da skal dere høre på lydfil, som jeg skal gi dere lenken, og dere skal svare til spørsmålene. Er dette her noe som dere må gjøre? Nei, det er det ikke. Men hvis dere vil lære engelsk på ordentlig, da anbefaler jeg at dere gjør det. Det eneste som dere må gjøre, er å skrive en eller to setninger, eller flere. Hvis dere vil gi eksempler, dere skal forklare hva cutting corners at work betyr. Dere skal få av meg lenken til lydfiler, og dere skal høre på dem også. Til sammen, det blir omtrent 15 minutter podcasten her, og så lydfil. Bye, have a nice day at work.